What's going on, good people? Welcome back to the channel. So this video right here is called 5 Scary Ghost Videos Going Viral Right Now. Now, before we get started, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button if you like what I'm doing here. Also, go to Haunted 5. They provided this video. Subscribe to them and give them a like as well. Now, let's get into this. Haunted 5.
A woman's sister used to work at a music school that also acted as a daycare for young children. The building was incredibly eerie, and whenever she would visit the daycare in the basement, she would get cold chills up her spine.
That's a sign.
Eventually, the daycare had to close due to finances, but the security cameras in the room were still operating. Many of the children that were part of the daycare would often talk about a mean man that was inside the tunnel. The cleaning lady often mentioned she'd go down into the vacant basement and see children's toys aligned in a circle. The following footage is what the security camera captured one afternoon.
Oh, the seesaw's moving. No, you can't. You can't. There's no way you can fake that. There's no way. What is that? Is that an orb? Oh. What's dragon? Oh, the toy. This seemed legit, y'all. It feels weird watching this, man.
Just moments into the video, we notice a seesaw in the middle of the room moving back and forth with nobody around.
Yeah.
Soon after, a toy car moves across the floor from one side of the room to another, and then turns sharply to the left. A basket holding some markers and other items appears to fall over with nobody nearby. The final event is another toy car which appears out of nowhere, turns the corner, then drives directly toward the camera.
So what I thought was an orb was an actual car. And listen, guys, I'm skeptical of some videos, but this one right here, you can't explain it away. For one, the seesaw moving. You can't say that it was wind because there's nothing else in this room that's being affected by wind. You can't say there's strings because you can see the momentum shifting as far as the weight goes back and forth on the seesaw. You can see it moving faster and faster as if there's actual weight being applied to the seesaw. And then you see the car moving around. There's no wind that's being applied to that one. And then you see the markers and the bin being knocked over. And then you see the other car getting moved towards the camera. It's almost as if whatever this is, if this is a ghost or whatever, it's like it's a kid. If you ever put a kid in a room full of toys, you see that they play with something for a couple of seconds, then they move on to the next thing, and they move on to the next thing, and it feels like whatever this thing is, if it's one ghost or two ghosts, it seems like it's a little kid. Like it goes to the seesaw, it gets bored with that, it moves on to the toy, it gets bored with that, it knocks over markers, and kids do that all the time, and then it moves on to the final car, and it drives towards the camera, which is something that I always wondered about, why ghosts have certain fascinations with like cameras. They always do stuff in the direction of a camera. But honestly, I really feel like this thing right here is legit. This is a good video. And I wonder why they went back and watched this video.
Did they capture authentic paranormal activity or something else entirely?
No, they did. Absolutely. That was a good one.
A man was visiting a ranch in northwest Los Angeles early one morning. He had heard rumors from people working at the ranch that strange activity was recently taking place. Most of the workers were too frightened to work alone since they were seeing strange figures standing out in the field. They have also witnessed machinery turning off and on by itself, along with tools and other items being moved when nobody else is around. He didn't think much of the rumors and thought that everyone was simply playing a trick on him since he was from the city. When he went outside early one morning, he glanced out into the field and was terrified by what he witnessed.
Prank the city slickers, huh?
What the fuck is that? No mames. That shit's going off fast. That's not a person at all, bro. That shit disappeared. Wait, what the
I'm not gonna get a strike for this music. Am I?
Nah, what the is that? That's fucking scary, dog.
As he points his camera out
didn't see
towards
it.
the field, we notice a dark humanoid figure all by itself. Soon, the figure begins to move at a speed which seems non-human. What's even more creepy is the fact that the legs don't appear to be moving. Due to the camera quality, it's difficult to make out any notable features.
I
While
don't know
many
about this
people in
one.
the comments section are convinced he captured a skinwalker, the skeptics are certain it was simply a hoax. Paranormal or not, the footage is definitely creepy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I feel like maybe they put a scarecrow on something and they're moving it down the
A
field.
girl was just waking up at home when she
Oh,
soon
I saw
noticed her
this one
dog
already.
laying at the foot of her bed. She seemed rather confused because her dog's
Yeah.
demeanor seemed different than usual. While her dog is usually
I'll let it play,
relaxed,
guys.
it seemed to
Sorry.
be
I'll
quite
just let it play.
anxious. Her sister was sleeping next to her, and the house was quiet, so she had no idea what was triggering her dog. She decided to record her dog's behavior for her sister when she woke up, to see if she could explain the abnormal behavior. When she showed her sister the footage, she was terrified by what was captured, which had nothing to do with the dog. It may have been difficult to see, but when she first starts recording the video, we can see a strange humanoid face crouching in the corner of the bedroom. Her sister was sleeping next to her, and nobody else was in the room, so she has no idea who or what it could have been. In just a matter of seconds, the creepy face completely vanishes. Could her house be potentially haunted, or is there a more reasonable explanation?
Yeah, I mean, like I said in my previous video, when they showed this clip, I gotta see a video of what, or a picture of what her sister looks like, or anyone that she knows, like, to determine whether that person is real or not. And if this ghost or whatever it is doesn't look like the people she's related to or familiar with, they gotta burn that house down. They gotta get up out of there. But in the last video, they used a dog curling up on the bed, and I think they did on here too, as a reference to say the dog was kind of scared, but the dog didn't really seem that scared. It just seemed like it was just relaxing on the bed, playing with this chew toy, even looking at the camera like, why is the camera in my face? So I don't know. Maybe there's a mannequin head they have on the ground, or maybe it could be pareidolia, but I don't know how that could happen. You know, if you guys have seen this video, if you guys have better ideas of what this could be, let me know. But I'm not too convinced that this was like a ghost or anything like that. It's definitely weird, though. It's definitely weird.
A father and daughter were playing in the woods one afternoon when something caught his daughter's eye. They were in a remote location and staying in a cabin that they are quite familiar with. However, when they visited this time, the area had an unusual vibe that they considered creepy. While they typically enjoy the surrounding noises of wildlife, this time the forest was eerily silent. At night, however, they could hear terrifying screams off in the distance that they have never heard before. On this particular day, when they were enjoying each other's company, they would get a glimpse of something that would forever haunt them.
Somebody over there.
Over where?
Right there.
Hey! What are you doing over there?
What is that? Why would you walk towards it? Like, it don't matter what it is. Why are you walking towards that?
I think it's a demon.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
Where did it go, Carly?
After a few moments, we can see a terrifying pale humanoid figure walking in a small clearing from right to left. The most notable feature of the strange figure are the freakishly long arms that appear longer than the legs. Eventually, he decides to get a better look at the creature, but can't find any trace of them. Many people are convinced he captured either a skinwalker or a rake, while the skeptics are certain it was simply a friend in a well-made costume. Paranormal or not, the footage is definitely creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be a person in a costume. I mean, if it is a skinwalker, I mean, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I still stand on the fact of why did he go by it? Okay, if I see something walking in there, unless I know for sure it's a Hulk, I'm like, you know what? Whatever that thing is, whatever it's doing, it's none of my business. I gotta let it go. It's time for me to go home. But for some reason, people have the need to put themselves in position to be attacked by something and they have no idea of what it is. And you got your daughter with you. Why are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's why I think it's a hoax. There's no reason for a dad to do that. But that's just me.
A man was recovering from a serious illness and was being monitored by a medical professional. He was resting in his bed comfortably when something strange took place. The room he was placed in was typically avoided by the nurses, since many of them have heard disembodied voices, along with seeing strange white figures floating in various parts of the room. Along with the strange experiences, the room reportedly has a cold feeling, along with impacting the mental health of those that enter. When the nurse reviewed the footage, they were terrified by what was captured.
Oh, I see that. It's like some weird like form, like moving like this. That is strange. What? Oh, that's creepy. That is creepy.
As the video begins, we can see a strange translucent mass hovering near the bed. Initially, it may have looked like a smudge on the lens, or even a bug, but when the medical supplies began to fly across the room, it definitely proved otherwise. One of the creepiest parts of the video is when the mass begins to decrease in size, and it almost appears as though it's entering the person sleeping.
It does look like
Once
that.
it fully disappears, the man wakes up and appears to be disoriented.
I wonder
Could this-
if, and this might be far-fetched, this may be a crazy theory, but I wonder if that mass was that guy's, like, his soul leaving his body, and then he probably was like, I don't believe that I'm floating up here, so he just started knocking stuff over, and then his soul returned back into his body, and then he woke up. I don't know. Otherwise, the man might probably got possessed. I mean, that could be what happened here, but I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. Again, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I know a little bit about this by, learning from the videos that I've watched in the past. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on any of these things. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think.
Room be potentially haunted by a former patient, or is there a more reasonable explanation?
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. The first one I think is the best one. The first and the last one. The one in between, the three that was in between, I'm not too sure about that. One I think is a hoax in the woods, and the other one with the head, I think it could be something. It may not be, but I'm more convinced that video number one is 1000% legit. You will have to find a creative way to convince me that that's not real. And the last one. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Which one is the most convincing? Which one is the least convincing? And let me know why. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Have a safe day.